Okay, so here's a door for that 1931 Chevy Woody car. This is the old door, and we're recreating it with new ash wood and a new mahogany ply panel there. So we're going to lay out the mortises for the hinges right here. Now normally what we would do is we'd take this piece and we would take this to a router, and then we would slowly route all this stuff out. Or we got to do it all with a chisel. So those are the usual two ways that we do this. I'm going to do it a different way that I think is a little bit faster and even a little bit cleaner, so I don't have to deal with edge guides for the router or freehanding it and then screwing it up. Now I'm here at the miter saw. Now at the miter saw, there's a couple things going on. I have a depth setting on the miter saw, so where I cannot lower this miter saw any more than it is right now. That's as far as I can go down. And since that is as far as I can go down, and that's at the proper depth, so that I'm not going to cut in deeper than a 1/4 inch on this thing. So we got to go into a 1/4 inch on that mortise. And I have here basically a zero clearance insert that is going to give me a guide for where that blade is exactly going to go. Or I could just use my laser. Either one works totally fine.
So the first thing I start doing is I establish the edges. Those are the most important parts, and everything else kind of goes in the middle of it. So you have to be really careful on that. So I use both my laser, and I'll use my mark on the wood, and I'll use that zero clearance I have there to line these things up. And now I'm just buzzing through this material, hogging all that waste out of there for that mortise, and you're going to see it leaves a very jagged bottom because that blade does not have a flat bottom. So after I clear all that waste out, now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move the blade. I'll move the piece of wood with my left hand. I'm moving the piece, and I'm letting the very bottom of the blade touch at different points as I move it side to side. And that actually cleans up all of those jagged lines, and you can see those jagged lines starting to disappear as I'm doing this. And then it looks smooth. It's actually very safe. It looks very dangerous and scary if you've ever done it before. But it's called a Polish plane.
Now you can see we have a pretty clean mortise. And that is acceptable. It's super quick. It's not going to be seen. There's a hinge that's going to go on top of there. And so this is good. Obviously, this one doesn't go all the way to the end, so I'm going to have to do a mortise that just goes down here, and then I'll have to clean that up with a chisel by hand. And so these ones will be easy. I don't have to go set up a router and a jig and all that kind of stuff like that, and collars for the router bit. No fun. So this is just a much faster way to do it.